Happiest Season is a new Hulu original from director Clea Duvall, who directed The Intervention. She was the goth girl in the faculty that, when confronted by the alien creature, she's like, no fucking way. She directed this, which I was a bit surprised by. I was like, okay, she's had an interesting film career, and I'd like to see what she can do here. The Intervention wasn't all that bad either. So I was interested to see how she was going to tackle a Christmas movie. And she also wrote this along with Mary Holland, who is in the cast. The cast is Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Victor Gerber, Alison Brie, Mary Steenburgen, and Mary Holland, as I said, Aubrey Plaza, who I love, and Dan Levy, as well as many others. Everybody plays their roles pretty goddamn well, and I'm pretty certain the description will probably turn off some people because it focuses on a gay couple. And they're not the only gay characters in this movie, but I'm pretty certain that's going to turn off some people. And I just want to say right now, love is love. Be who you are. If you're consenting adults, be with who you want to be with. That's really what it fucking comes down to. And you shouldn't be looked down upon just because you want to date somebody of the same gender. So, moving on from that. I'll get into spoilers here in a little bit, but you have the characters of Abby, played by Kristen Stewart, and Harper, Mackenzie Davis, who are in love. They're happy together. Abby has a bit of a past. There are, every character actually has some, some secrets that come out as the movie goes on. But Abby's had a bit of a thing where, like, she's not the biggest fan of Christmas. We find out a little bit later on. And Harper's like, I don't want you to spend Christmas alone. We've been happy together. Come up and stay with my family. Let's be happy. Let's do this. So, okay, Abby finally agrees to it. She is pet sitting. She has her friend John, played by Dan Levy, watch them. And at first I was afraid he was going to be just a little bit too much of just a gay stereotype, and actually he turned out not to be that. His character is a little more fleshed out, and you could tell he was genuine as far as how he interacted with Abby and various others. Because sometimes that's the thing about some comedies, you're not sure if people are going to turn out to be stereotypes regardless of, gender or, sexuality. And the nice thing about this is it's handled well. It's not handled with kids' gloves, but it has a good grounding in reality. Now, Abby finds out quickly on when Harper and her are driving up to Harper's parents' house that she hasn't actually told her parents that she's gay. And that causes a bit of tension, and there is a bit of an underlying theme. Actually, it's one of the main underlying themes of this whole thing. Being who you are, not hiding who you are. And that's the thing about Abby. Abby kind of starts to question a little bit, but she's like, okay, I'll go along with it because I love this woman. And then the comedic events do follow of, like, them hiding their relationship, that, their roommates are not actually together. And a wrinkle is thrown in when during a family dinner at a restaurant, Harper's ex-boyfriend, I think her only boyfriend from high school, is invited by the parents because the parents are aloof. They don't have a goddamn clue because Harper's never told them. And from there's, other exes and other secrets and stuff like that to get thrown in. And Abby starts to question maybe if Harper does really love her. And what follows is some good, genuine dialogue and some pretty damn good acting. Like, for a movie like this, you're not necessarily sure if you're going to get a lot of good acting with it or if it's just going to be surface deep. Now, maybe it's because I've just been, watching a whole bunch of movies from home. Maybe because I've watched a whole bunch of stuff. And I just have, maybe I'm leveling out with my opinion because I usually would not like this kind of movie, but I actually did. I actually really did. The writing is really what saves it. The acting is what really saves it and elevates it above most stereotypical, Christmas movies. Now, I'm not saying this isn't typical, and I'm not saying it isn't sappy because it's a Christmas movie. You want to feel sappy stuff like that. But it actually does have a good grounded feel to it, where it feels like the characters all make decisions based on it, based on their particular situation, like how somebody would react if a relationship is more of convenience than anything else. Or in the case of Harper's parents, like, the dad wanting to go for a bigger political career. So this stuff's kind of being kept down, and she'll tell her parents after the holidays. There's a lot of good stuff with this. And what really drives it is once, it gets to where everybody reveals, anything that they've been hiding, you think it's going to go one of two ways. And, like, at first, it doesn't necessarily throw you a few serious curveballs or big curveballs, but it's like, oh, holy shit, this might not have quite the happy ending. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'll get into spoilers here in a little bit, but what's nice about this movie is it has a good, genuine feel to it, and the acting is quite good. And I was a bit surprised by that because I wasn't so sure, because Kristen Stewart has a bit of a hit and miss career as far as, like, her acting. Sometimes people don't love her. I actually don't mind. I actually think she's just fine in a lot of movies. But this was actually pretty good. And Alison Brie steals a lot of scenes, in Aubrey Plaza in particular, who is funny and gorgeous. She steals so much scenery whenever she's there. And she doesn't overpower anybody, but she just has that natural, that magnetism that makes you want to watch her more. Really, the cast is just fucking fantastic. And nobody gets way too much TV time or too much screen time where you feel like they're overexposed. It all works out to even out in the writing. Clea Duvall and Mary Holland doing a really good job. Mary Holland playing a good bit part here as well. It really has a good, sappy feel to it, but it has a good holiday feel to it, and it's really pretty goddamn good. So that's all I'm really going to say about that right there. I'm going to get into spoilers here in a little bit, but don't worry, the spoilers are not going to start for a few seconds. But overall, do see this. If you got a Hulu subscription, it's well worth watching. Absolutely, it's a great holiday movie. Anyway, spoilers, quick, go away if you want to. Okay, so basically, Aubrey Plaza plays an ex of, Harper's first ever girlfriend, and her and Abby kind of form a bond because Riley says, and I thought they were going to go with a romance with that. Thankfully, they didn't. I thought they were going to. They didn't, as nice as that would have been. Moving on. But she kind of tells her, like, how Harper was, the reason that they were together, but then somebody found these love letters that they were writing together. They were writing to each other, and Harper didn't want to confess, and then that's why, she's basically been hiding herself ever since. She didn't want to tell her parents. All the kids want to basically be, they want to be their best versions for the parents, especially as that's pursuing politics. The mother's got a perfect, good Christian family home, or, just good family home in general. And it really does have, a good, genuine feel to it, though. Abby and Riley, do share some stories and everything. It turns out that Abby lost her parents when she was 19, and that's why she's had an issue with Christmas, and that totally makes sense. In all honesty, it would affect anybody if they lost their parents when it comes to the holidays. And yeah, her and Harper spent some time with, an ex-boyfriend, and Abby's questioning maybe whether she really loves her or not. All this time she's communicating with her friend John, who kind of kills the fish that he's supposed to be babysitting. We don't see the other pets that he's babysitting or pet sitting, but there's supposed to be a cat and a dog. That was the only disappointment I had with that, is like, damn it, show me the cat and the dog. And not cat dog, not that. That show was weird. But we get, during a big old dinner scene and everything, when the dad's trying to maybe get, sponsors or, get somebody to help him with his campaign to become mayor. Harper and Sloane have a fight because Sloane catches them, but then it turns out that Sloane, who has a husband, is, her and her husband are separating, and he was caught making out with somebody in the pantry closet or whatever it was. So Harper and Sloane have a bit of a fight, and it ends with, big old melee, just comedy melee. But Sloane says, she's been lying to you, she's gay, and this kind of stuff. And Harper still won't confess it. And Abby's upset, and she's done. And her friend John had come to the party to, get her back, basically saying, not get her back like that, but get her back hey, you need to be with somebody. I'm here to rescue you because you shouldn't hide who you are and all this stuff. And he wasn't upset. He just didn't want somebody he cares about to hide who she is. And you shouldn't hide who you are, especially if you're a consenting adult. And even if you're a teenager and you're gay, just seriously, be who you are. Just saying. Anyway. But yeah, John and Abby have a nice heart-to-heart, really good stuff. And then Abby says to Harper, it's over, it's too late. I mean, Harper did finally come out, and everybody confessed all their stuff. And the dad was kind of thrown back. He wasn't mad, but he's just thrown back because he thought he had this perfect family. The mother was like, well, he's going to need some time. And then Abby and John leave. Harper follows, because there's this other underlying thing where John is basically tracking people and stuff like that. That's how he was able to find Abby. And Harper says, it's big heart to heart, sappy but fun, well-intentioned. It's give me a chance, I won't hurt you again, but I need a second chance. So if I have you, that's all I need. Anybody that's in a relationship wants to hear that. And the dad basically was going to get the sponsorship a little bit later, like Christmas morning. I think it was Christmas morning, but she said, the sponsor said, well, hey, have your family, basically have your daughters hide their secrets. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And I mean, that happens off screen, but he implies that. And that's pretty much it right there. That's really it. Everybody's happy. Everybody's together. And really, it's pretty goddamn good. Pretty goddamn it was sappy, but you know what? It wasn't so sappy where it's like it didn't feel genuine. Yes, the comedy elements are a little ridiculous and stuff like that, but I gotta say, hey, it was really goddamn good. Maybe it's just because I'm in the holiday mood, but hey, I gotta absolutely say, hey. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.